One of the most important decisions when it comes to building your home studio and building out your video kit is your key light. In the beginning, I opted in for a budget option and I went with the Neewer NL480 series. I've got 4 of those panels and recently decided to upgrade the key light to a Godox VL150. So in this video, we're doing a quick comparison from my perspective. I'm going to share with you why I decided to upgrade and how I have it set up for a home studio space that's smaller than your average space. I've got about 9 feet square space in here. I've got to go pick up the Aputure Light Dome Mini 2. Let's go and grab that first, and then we're going to do a quick comparison of both of these lights and hopefully help you decide which one is the best option for your video kit.
And the large coffee would be black?
Yes, please.
That's everything?
You bet.
$4.60.
There will be links in the description below to all the equipment we're using today. With the Neewer light, there was actually some pretty good controls with this model. Make sure you get the one that has the percentage readout because that's really handy to have. Also, your color temperature reading. So one of the things that happened with the setup here is I've got the light bar and I've got 2 of these Neewer panels on it, and the older ones didn't have the white balance, the temperature control on the back, so I never really know what they're set to. I can't tell unless I go and get some kind of a measurement tool, and I just don't want to get that technical with my production. So one of the things that I had to do with the panels that are up there is basically set the dial to the same position and hope that it was pretty close. And you can tell with like this video especially, you know, when you have your white balance all over the place, like it just looks inconsistent. It can look really gross. It's like, it's actually pretty difficult to make sure that you always have correct white balance, especially when you're changing environments from indoors to outdoors. So one of the cool things that I liked about the COB, which is chip on board design, some people say cob light, the VL150 basically is tuned for 5600 Kelvin. You can't change it. It's always that temperature. And you know that you're getting like pretty accurate color rendition through this type of light. So you don't really have to worry about the white balance as much if you're consistently using it in the same environment. All right, we've got the Godox VL150 here with the Aputure Light Dome Mini 2, and we have the Neewer NL480 over here. Obviously you can't tell much of a difference here. We've got white balance issues throughout this whole video and there's a number of things that are changing. So let me share with you why I decided to go with this upgrade, and basically we're gonna repurpose this light for something else. So the first thing that actually prompted me to upgrade the light was one of my backlights had a burnt out bulb, and the Neewer is only a couple of years old, so that was a little bit surprising considering it's LED technology. You would hope that it would last longer. I don't think I've actually put that many hours of usage into it. Another big reason why I wanted to use the VL150 for the key light is power. It's currently set to 20% of its power. Like, it's just an amazing, extremely extremely bright light that you can get a lot out of. And when you're spending money on video equipment, you want to get as much versatility as possible. So if you can use something like this in a multitude of situations to light subjects in different ways, you can purchase different diffusion options for something like this because it uses a standard Bowen's mount, which is basically the ring that attaches to the front of the light. The next reason is I wanted a softer light source, and by having more of the dome here, you're creating a distance between the actual light source and the surface that's spreading the light out. And I decided to go with a Light Dome Mini 2 because it's not very big. Some of these diffusion options are gigantic. This is a very small studio space, and I didn't want to have a really huge softbox on the light because some of them would actually get to a point where from the back of the light to the front, it's like 3 or 4 feet in depth. So I just don't have that kind of space. And I'm sure if you have a small studio space, you can relate. The last reason is value. When you're spending money, you want to look at how do you get the maximum out of your investment. Now, Aputure has been an amazing high-end quality brand for years. I've got some of their smaller lights, and I just couldn't really justify at this time in my life and business to spend like $1,200, $1,500, $2,000 on one light. At half the price of the Aputure light, this was a no-brainer. And the thing with this one that I really appreciated was how quiet it is. Generally, it doesn't really, the fan built into the light doesn't really come on until a certain temperature. I've heard that it only comes on over 50%. I've actually found that to be not true. I had it at 35% with the light dome on it and the fan came on. That being said, it's not that noisy, and I have other things that are in the environment that can cause more noise. For a cob light that's super high powerful, that you have incremental changes, like every time you turn the dial by 1%, it's actually changing it. You can actually double everything, so you can predict how bright the light's gonna be. So for example, 50%, 100% is actually twice as bright as that. Comes with a remote control. One of the things I was actually confused about is like there's color temperature changes on this. It's reading 3,300 Kelvin, and this light is only capable of producing 5,600 Kelvin. So if you want a great light that's budget friendly, offers tons of versatility for its uses, is really powerful, pretty good quality build, then I definitely recommend either upgrading from a Neewer panel or investing in this as your key light as your first light versus getting an Aputure or something like that that's twice as expensive. I do have a video over here for you if you'd like to look at the 3-point lighting setup. If you'd like to watch any more videos from this channel, then check out this video over here. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see you creating a big impact with your videos.